Hey guys, back here again with another video. This time I'm going down the rabbit hole that is little computer people. I already explored the Commodore 64 version, which I was familiar with. I checked out the Nintendo Famicom version because I was really interested in the fact that there was a little girl and a cat, and how exactly would you play this game on the Nintendo? And that was a very bizarre experience. Might have made more sense if I knew Japanese. And here I am back with another Japanese home computer system, this time the PC-88. And I'm going to be honest here, the main reason I'm even doing this video is so I have an excuse to explore the PC-88. So actually, computer series is called the PC-8800, but it's usually common to PC-88. They use the Zilog Z80 CPU. In this case, it was clocked at 4 megahertz, and these were released by Nippon Electric Company, or NEC. It was actually really popular in Japan during the 1980s. It competed with the Fujitsu FM7, the Sharp X1, and the MSX computers. The MSX computers I really need to go into a video about sometime. It was a computer standard. Oh, it's such a complicated, weird little thing, and it's too much of a bird walk for this video. But basically, Microsoft teamed up with some Japanese companies and created a home computer standard. So a lot of different companies were making MSX computers, but the agreement was that they would all have the same architecture and have the same compatibility with each other. So that was kind of an interesting little thing. So I gotta check those out sometime. And actually MSX was looking like it's going to be the emergent dominant one until the Nintendo Famicom actually came in and kind of stole the market. But then the PC-88 was pretty far up there in popularity as well. Now, all of these Japanese home computers really were not looking at the American market. America was already in the middle of a war between, and I might be wrong about the timing a little bit, but basically the Commodore 64 was dominating the low end of the market, which is where the PC-88 probably would have come in. There was also, of course, we got the Apple II going on. We got the Atari 8-bit systems going on. We have early IBM compatibles going on. All of those are battling for dominance in the American market. And basically the Japanese home computer people were like, nah, too saturated, not going there. Within Japan, the PC-88, actually through 1979 and 1981, was 40% of the Japanese personal computer market. So it was a pretty big thing. The other thing I thought was kind of interesting was that the CPU, the Zilog Z80, was used in the TRS-80, which is another computer I'm going to have to check out sometime. It was used in the Sega Master System, which was compatible with the Game Gear, so they used the same CPU. There was actually a Zilog Z80 in the Sega Genesis because it was meant to be backwards compatible with the Sega Master System. I thought that was pretty interesting. And then if you ever used any of those TI-81, TI-82 graphing calculators like that, they had that same processor. The other thing that I find kind of curious about the PC-88 is it had, I guess I don't really understand this, the keyboard. I'm guessing that QWERTY is sort of an international standard, but the PC-88, I really don't quite understand this, but like there was like a ROM board to expand like the Japanese rating as well. So it's kanji in specific. I'm guessing because kanji is so complicated. So probably the hiragana or katakana or both might have been included in the base ROM set, but I wonder if the kanji had to have some sort of expansion Kanji is the Chinese characters that have literally thousands of characters. I don't know how a computer would handle those in those times. Hiragana and Katakana were Japanese alphabets that had a limited character set. And yes, Japan has 3 alphabets that it uses, and I don't know why. Somebody can explain that to me sometime too. And I can actually read hiragana and katakana, but kanji just is too complicated for me, and I didn't study it for long enough. Anyway, just really excited to check out the PC-88. There were multiple color modes. This one I set it to, let's see, the resolution I have it set to is 640 by 200, and I believe it's only 8 colors, which actually is kind of interesting because it doesn't look that bad for having only 8 colors. Makes a huge difference as compared to like CGA graphics only had 3 colors. I'm going to apologize in advance because, like a lot of other computers at this time, like the Apple II and the IBM, the machine had an internal speaker. It sounds like later models may have had an actual like sound chip, but the sound quality in this game it's going to be pretty awful, which is actually kind of interesting because she still plays the piano. It actually doesn't sound that bad, but most of the other sounds don't sound that good. That'll be kind of interesting. Anyway, we're going to gotta dig in. I think this opening spiel is going to be longer than actual gameplay because there's not a whole lot to do in the game. Let's see, it's asking me for my name. I'm somewhat puzzled why it's missing the black square. My name should be up in that black square, I'm pretty sure. Alright, just loading. This is session 5. First 3 sessions were me fumbling around trying to figure out how this game even worked. And I think it included times where I didn't even figure out how to log in because you have to put the date in a very specific way. Again, we'll do let's say today's date, but I don't remember what today's date is, so I'll just choose a random day of this month. We'll say it's March 15th. You have to put in that format, year, month, day, and then slashes, or it doesn't work. It's just weird because it never references that during the game as far as I know. It is loading. My emulator does have a fast load thing. So I mentioned in the other videos, she kind of flickers as she walks. I actually played this slow motion, and I am fascinated by what's actually going on because different parts of her disappear at different times. I'm guessing they did not have any hardware sprites. So this is probably the best that they could do. When she holds still, she stops flickering, but when she moves is when she flickers. One thing I noticed too, I overclocked the processor up to 8 megahertz, which is double. And this is one of those games where that makes the game run twice as fast as well. Alright, so she's reading her book, doing her thing. So I don't think she ever talks to us because the sound quality is really not that good. Let's see. Yeah, to get her to actually do something, let's see. Press spacebar to make this open up, and then use the number pad to choose things. I tried to use the joystick, but it didn't work as well. Might be an emulator problem, not sure. Oh, she does talk. Oof, that's bad. Okay. Is she gonna listen to what I told her to do, or is she gonna be just as annoying as Steven? Looks like she's gonna do what I told her to do. Oh. Well, I have no idea what that stuff says, but it is in Katakana. So I can actually, I'm not very fast reading Katakana, but I could actually sound it out. So I can't keep up with her, but okay, it does reference the date. I stand corrected. Ooh, what's her name? Couldn't quite understand what her name was. Started with aw. What the heck? When she paused there, I could see that the disk drive was accessing. So wait a minute, is she gonna go write another letter? No, okay. She's sort of impatient. I'm going to give her her next command, which will be eat food. There's actually a second menu. I'll have to see if I can figure out how to access the second menu. I feel like if they had been able to get her to not flicker, this would have been an okay experience. But as it is, it kind of drives me crazy. See, and this is really interesting too. She actually goes and uses the stove. So the original Little Computer people, he just like grabbed something nondescript that was like a yellow square and then just like shoved it in his mouth and started eating it at the table. And she actually goes and puts it on the stove, and then she goes and sits down and reads while it's cooking, which I think is kind of interesting. And she did that last time I got her to eat. So that's the same thing she did too, so I think that's part of her cooking behavior is reading a book. Where did her food go? Okay. Her mouth is less ridiculous than Steven's. Steven being the one that I had on my Commodore 64. Okay, she's done eating. Next command looks like drink water. Oh, I bet she's gonna go brush her teeth. I wonder if that's a big thing in Japan. So I wake up, I eat breakfast, then I brush my teeth, and then I don't brush my teeth again until the end of the day. And I think that's a pretty typical American thing to do. I don't think I'm gross. I think people with braces or specific dental issues will brush their teeth immediately after meals, but I think it's pretty normal just to brush your teeth twice a day. Kind of like in the morning, you get rid of your bad breath and all that sort of stuff. And then you definitely don't want any food on your teeth overnight because that could feed the, I was gonna say plaque, but whatever the things are that make the plaque. The weird little bacteria things living in your mouth. Alright, what's next? Oh, piano. She nodded at me just like Steven did. So I'm really baffled by that. How can they get that to sound good? Wait, I already did. What? Oh my. Alright, oh, no. Yeah, I don't want to play the card game yet. I have a sinking suspicion that I won't understand what's going on during the card game and I'll get really frustrated. Did I accidentally tell her to eat again? Shoot. Man, I wish I could interrupt that. Well, in editing, I'll probably skip over this part since we've seen it before. Okay, trying to get her to use the computer. And yes, she did sit down and read again after... Oh gosh, she still has to brush her teeth. And yes, she did sit down and read after... while she's cooking again. Okay. Here we go. It's not clear whether she's coding or playing a game there. Let's see, that one told her to go read a book. So, interestingly, she seems to always listen to commands. Whereas Steven frequently ignored me. So I believe I told her to go watch TV, which we've already seen before. Apparently she doesn't have a remote control. Alright, what's next? What is that? It might be dog food. I don't quite understand what is mapped to what. So it's like... Oh. Okay, that's the Hungarian folk dance. I forget the name of that one. This is making it all the more baffling why her walking sound effects are so bad. Because it's two songs that were not that bad. And I'm baffled because how did it pull off? And her talking is so bad. How did it pull off more than one channel on that? Alright. Oh. I think I just told her to go to bed. Wondering about that. Says she put on pajamas? No. Maybe she's supposed to be putting on pajamas, but they just didn't have enough. She's not sleeping. She's just like, why am I lying in bed? Okay, that was that one. That was water. I already did water. No, I think she just did it on her own. Seems like my command overrode whatever she's thinking about doing on her own. I think Steven can learn a lot from this girl. Say it. What? Book. I didn't say book. Okay. That's water. What's this one? Oh no, was that a toothbrush? She's gonna have no enamel left in her teeth. Oh wait, no. That's a shower. Yeah, she straight up got naked. Okay then, that's what that one is. That makes sense. Ooh. I can pet her just like I can pet Steven. Alright, what else we got going on here? That's water. Oh, ouch. That annoying beep was the phone, I think. It. Huh? Oh boy. Poker. I'm very nervous about this. The top one was poker. It's possible I could figure out how to play poker. There's that phone again. That was the phone. What is that? Probably delivery. Yeah, okay, she got a package. I can't tell if she has a mood too. So she got a new record and then, oops, nope. What is that? Oh, I think it's dog food. Oh, she's listening to her new music. How can a machine that can produce music like that have sound effects like this? So strange. water. No, no. Shouldn't. Wait, what is that? Is that a dog food delivery? What? Oh no, did I tell her to shower again? So the controls aren't very intuitive, so I fumble around with a numeric keypad trying to figure out what I'm trying to tell her to do. Okay, I'm going to try to get her to do dog food again. I think that's dog food, I don't know. And then I think I missed the fireplace somehow, so I'm going to try to figure that out. Yeah, that's human food. So wait. I don't see any way to feed the dog. Alright, well I'm gonna try to figure out the fireplace. Is it? Nope. 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 I'll press all the buttons. I can't figure out how to do the fireplace. Oh. Oh. So it's not the arrows in the numeric keypads, it's the numbers. So 0 is what shows the fireplace. That would suggest I could use the other numbers instead. So yeah, in the English realms of the internet, I could not find the manual for this game at all. It's pretty common, because why would I be able to Google search a Japanese game, you know? Yeah, she got another food delivery, okay. Well, I'm going to try to play the card game with her, and I think that'll kind of wrap it up for what she's able to do. I don't know why I can't feed the dog, though. Yeah, okay, it is the number. Okay, so that starts to make a bit more sense. All I gotta do is press spacebar to pull up the menu, and then press a number to tell her what to do. I think I like the menu-based approach. With Steven, I could never tell if he was choosing to ignore me, if I was just not communicating well with him. Okay, so it's poker, or I'm really curious what the other one is. I want to try the other one. It was in Katakana, so I should have been able to read it, but I couldn't find it fast enough. Just because the knowledge of all the Katakana characters is somewhere in my brain doesn't mean I can access it on will. My main worry with this is if I can't figure it out, she'll time out and get mad at me and just quit the game. Okay. I have no idea. Okay, I think this is anagrams. Am I supposed to... No. Oh. Hold on. It's in English. and these are easier. What? It's a long word. All right, give me a hint. What? Another hint? Or am I out of hints? I have no idea, man. I don't think she's giving me any more hints. Oh, fireplace. Okay, okay. I don't know. Anyway. It's interesting. So you play English anagrams. Press 2. Does that quit? Okay. Oh, interesting. Has to redraw the upper floor. Well, I'll probably end it by playing some poker, but that kind of pushes the limit of what this game can do. No. Card. Kind of pushes the limit of what this game can do. I don't think there's anything else. I don't know about any Easter eggs in this one. Let's try out poker. So yeah, this is interesting. Like I said, I like the menu-based. I like the fact she actually listens to me 90% of the time. I'm not sure if her mood goes up and down or not. I don't know why she won't feed her dog. I do not care for the flicker. But again, it was a really good excuse to play a PC-88 game. Oh goodness. I don't know what this is. So I'm fascinated by the fact it's all in Katakana, which is normally reserved for foreign words. But I'm guessing they didn't have space on the computer. I don't know what 9 says. I don't know. I'm just going to press some stuff. I think I'm betting. I have no idea what's happening. guess I can bet more. So she won. Suppose that's a way to see if mood works. So let's play another round and I'll lose a bunch of money on purpose. No idea what this says. No idea what this says. Oh, okay, this is the one where I can bet more. Oh, I won. I wanted her to win. Oh, goodness. I think I'm going to win again. Well, I can see if she gets in a bad mood. Wow. I don't think she's very good at this. I vaguely remember in the Commodore 64 version, he'll actually like fold, maybe, if you bluff him. Yeah, 3 of a kind, of course I won. Alright, well I beat her somehow, even though I couldn't even figure out how to draw new cards. I don't know, the expression on her face doesn't seem to change, so I'm not sure this one tracks her mood, like, and that they programmed her to pretty well always listen, whereas the Commodore one, he will, if he's mad at you, he won't listen. Yeah, I don't think her facial expressions don't seem to change. I don't think they had the graphics for it. Anyway, that was me checking out the PC-88. I'm quite curious. If you guys know of any other games on the PC-88 that were worth checking out, let me know, especially if they're English friendly or if there's English patches to them. Well, other than that, that's going to be it. And maybe I'm done with my weird little rabbit hole about little computer people. I did actually record all of the Super Nintendo Shadowrun series, so all I have to do is edit and upload those. And then I actually played Dreamweb already, and I just need to edit that one and get that uploaded too. I did not do a full playthrough of Dreamweb. I just wanted to check it out a little bit, see what it was about. Pretty interesting game. But that's going to be it for today, so see you guys next time.